lost the fight. And as a competitor, that's how I felt. And Dana White called me today, and he said, if it's a no contest, then the fight didn't happen. He said, if one of you guys would have missed weight, he would have won the fight. You still would have kept the belt. He said, because of that, he goes, the championship is getting returned to you. The fight is a no contest. If he cheated, he could not have fought and cheated and still won the fight. So, once again, I'm the UFC champion. Now, people will say stuff like, well, you got handed the belt. He cheated. And the reality is, for me to say, I don't want this title when I was going to be in a championship fight anyways.
Right.
Financially, it's just a big difference if I don't fight as the champion opposed to fighting for a vacant title. I'm taking the belt. He disqualified himself by taking a steroid before the fight. So now I get the belt back, which is the right thing to do. You don't cheat the sport. You don't cheat the fans. You don't cheat me. You have all the physical advantages, sir. You're 30 years old. You're 6'4". You've got 85-inch reach. I'm 38 years old.
Yeah.
I would love to take stuff and wake up every morning and not have to walk down my stairs sideways and just get back to training. It's an unfortunate situation, man. We had one of the biggest fights of the year, and once again, this guy has made a mockery of the sport.
You're either clean or you're not. There is no gray zone when it comes to full contact sports, period. I mean, any sports, full contact especially, you're clean or you're not. I don't care if USADA comes and says, Misha, don't eat Cheerios the week of your fight. Guess what? I ain't eating Cheerios. That's the rules. They make them so that the sport is safe and clean, and we need to follow them. You know the rules directly ahead of time. USADA hands out pamphlets, tons of information. They make it very, very easy. And if you have a question, if there's anything that a doctor prescribes to you, you have phone numbers, you have a website, you can run it through a number of people to verify that if this is a safe product or not, which I utilize many times myself, just wanting to be over precautious. I have a slight thyroid disorder. My thyroid runs a little bit slow. I took a natural pig hormone, but I wanted to make sure that it was safe. It was okay. Yeah. And it was cleared. It was all right. But I went through the process to make sure that what I was putting into my body, I sent all my supplements to USADA to have them cleared. And they're happy to do that. And that gives me the reassurance because I don't want to accidentally take something. But you can't use ignorance as an excuse. And it needs to be 100% clean, not basically clean.
The way the B sample works, and this has surprised me that some people get confused on this, when your A sample comes back positive, you then have the right to request that your B sample is tested. If your B sample comes back negative, you are not innocent. You just won the lottery, though, because they will not move forward with prosecution, if you will. I'll use the word prosecution. They won't move forward with the case. It's a get out of jail free card, like it never happened. There has been times in history where that very thing has happened, where lightning struck and a guy's B sample came back clear. It's over. It's over right there. There's time. I couldn't tell you one of them. I could not give you an example where that happened. It's that rare. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's that rare. So if you're ever in the spot, first thing you do, right, you're getting your legal team ready. You're getting ready for the battle that is pending in front of you. But you do request that the B sample is tested. And just in case that one shot in the dark and it comes back, then it just goes away. So this wasn't huge news. And for people that reported as though he had failed another drug test, well, I don't see it that way. I don't think that that's accurate.
Situation with Jon Jones. Do we got more news on that?
We all knew that was going to come back positive. The second test always comes. It's twice testing the same sample. I mean, of course.
What exactly is? What exactly is?
Well, him testing. I'm sorry. Him testing a certain way and negative didn't matter because what is it? The blood tests don't go for. Is it terminal? How do you say it?
Turinabol.
Turinabol, sorry.
Is what it is.
They don't test for that, so the urine test is what got him. So him testing negative right before that, they weren't doing urine tests, right. Blood tests.
Yeah. So he's tested. So he is. It's official.
He's popped.
It's official. It's no more.
The A sample is the initial test. He failed that test, and now they've rerun it. That's the B sample. They use a different,
bit from the blood. Has it ever come up different?
And it was also.
Has it ever come up different? It always comes up positive.
John now to explain if he didn't knowingly take it or whatever, it's going to be another situation like with the dick pill.
When people say, and now if this is what happened, I mean, he took steroids. he is forever tarnished, his legacy. You
Yeah.
can't say he's the best who ever played the game. You
Not
cannot
even
say
close.
that because you don't know that. Is he the best, or is he the best when he's roided up?
Well, it's the same as Mark. It's the asterisk, which they gave Roger Maris the asterisk because he had 9 more games than Babe Ruth. But it was like when Mark McGwire or Barry Bonds broke the home run record. It's like, yeah, but this is a steroid era. It's a different. But again, there's always a pro and a con with the steroid era, especially with baseball, because you look back. Well, Babe Ruth, yeah, that's true. But Babe Ruth was facing guys who pitched both games of a doubleheader. Babe Ruth was not facing left-handed specialists. He should literally, if he took steroids and form, he should not be allowed to fight again. He shouldn't be allowed to fight again. It's terrible.
That's what Bisping said. He actually.
And I do think that if he tested positive again,
Boo this man.
he should not be able to fight again. I mean, you just can't. You're really putting a guy's life at risk.
I think this guy should never step in the cage again if this is
true.
If it is, well, I mean, it's starting to look that way.
It doesn't look good.
Say that he definitely has tarnished his legacy. I think he will always be remembered for the stunning performances that he put on. I mean, when he first broke into the UFC, he was incredible, absolutely unstoppable. Yes, outside of the octagon, he made some very, very bad decisions, and unfortunately, this is one that isn't going to go away for a long time. I think he's looking at a 4-year suspension. And it's fair to say there's no smoke without fire. This isn't his first time. So we've got to see how this thing unfolds, but it's not looking good.
Should he be banned from the sport permanently?
I believe so. If you have a history of taking performance-enhancing drugs, I think there's no place for it. This is a vicious sport. It's not for everybody. We're not trying to put a ball into a basket. We're trying to, you can dress it up however you want, but we're trying to beat our opponents either into submission or knock them out. Performance-enhancing drugs have no place in this sport.
Oh man, absolutely terrible news. Shock. There's no way. Jon Jones have been tested multiple times going through the fight camp. He would not do something like that. The problem is the public perception of they think he's got these needles and throwing steroids in his arms. When don't get me wrong, I understand Jon has messed up in the past. He's got caught drinking and driving. He's done some bad things. He's done things that are idiotic, but he's grown up. But as far as taking steroids, what he's been busted for is, taking a Viagra Cialis from Mexico that has something in it. That's not steroids, but it came up that way. And if I had to guess, it's going to come out there's going to be something that he took to rehydrate himself after his cut, or somewhere in that style, that time, that with some kind of what I want to say, some kind of substance that he thought was just a supplement that someone said, hey, this will make you feel better. It's got electrolytes in it and stuff, but it was tainted. And everybody thinks that, yeah, that's just an excuse, but really that's it. That's what it's going to be. And what I've noticed is a lot of these supplement companies, they have a tendency sometimes to throw things in there. And I think if they find out who the supplement company was and which one is tainted, they got a big lawsuit in their hands because it has changed Jon Jones' life, and it's really not his fault. Gosh, it's just real disheartening because I know Jon Jones is not a cheater. Jon Jones can fight. He can game plan better than anybody. His strategy is better than anybody. He throws all these things into his mind that's so even better than his athletic ability by far. It has nothing to do with substance abuse.